Yo, what's going on Facebook and YouTube land? This is Top 5 in the 325 presented by SanAngeloLive.com. I'm Manny Diaz.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Matt Trammell.
Yes, sir. We have a pretty good show today. We're breaking down the top 5 stories going on in San Angelo and the rest of the 325. Plus, we have Miss Terry Holland talking the San Angelo Cowboy Gathering and the amazing effort, the amazing event that they're producing to raise money for a very profitable cause here in San Angelo. We'll visit with her in just a moment.
Well, Manny, it's going to be a rodeo. It's going to be a rodeo, yes. So we might as well just hop on into it. So for number 5, unfortunately, we have one of the most tragic stories to come out of San Angelo over the past week was the death of 23-year-old Jonathan Fortenberry. Fortenberry was involved in a crash with an 18-wheeler on Tuesday morning just under the Van Buren Bridge.
Yeah. Fortenberry's family member, Jennifer Hurley, spoke with San Angelo Live and said, "We're absolutely devastated by John's passing. His heart was so big. He loved helping anyone he could, no matter the circumstances. A GoFundMe has been set up for the family, and at this moment, as of this afternoon, over $6,000 has been raised for the family. Very curious to see how much money continues to be raised and what happens next in the courtroom as to how this thing plays out."
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so, Manny.
All right, number 4, United Airlines. If you like flying from Houston to San Angelo or San Angelo to Houston,
no more.
Well, in October, you may be finding another way to get there. All right. After less than 6 months, United Airlines announced Tuesday that they will be pulling all flights from Mathis Field. The company says that the lack of pilots and tickets sold was the main contributing factor to them leaving San Angelo.
I know, man. It's crazy. The inaugural flight was held on April 21st, and the last flight to Houston will be on October 1st.
Jeez,
so
I was hoping to take advantage of that.
We can still go to Dallas, though. Don't worry, guys. So for number 3, we're going to give you an update. This COVID-19 update this week is not a fun one, though, Manny, as the Tom Green County has seen the most COVID-19 cases since the heat of the pandemic. That's right. During the past week, the health department has reported over 600 cases, and the majority of them have been unvaccinated, and there are over 1,200 active cases right now of COVID-19.
Wow. Yeah, of the 1,200 active cases, 68 are currently hospitalized. Over the week, 9 patients have died from the virus. 6 of the 9 were not vaccinated. And a little extra tidbit on this. Did some researching with the Sick Map of Texas presented by the Department of Health. And our hospitalization rate is right at, in Section K, which includes Tom Green County and a number of the surrounding counties of San Angelo and Tom Green County. We have a hospitalization rate of 7.49%. The state of Texas has the barrier set at 15%. If we reach that 15% for 5 consecutive days, that's when they begin to step in and shut things down.
Yeah, but as we're seeing, that number is continuing to rise.
Yes, and that 7.49%, that was the highest it's been in the last week. So they release these numbers they're delayed about 24 hours. So we'll see what actually happened, what it was yesterday. I'm assuming it's probably a little high. So we shall see. All right, number 2. Sheriff David Jones, after a long battle with leukemia, former Tom Green County Sheriff went to meet with the Lord on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's right, Sheriff Jones. He was known not only for his long lifetime service to the law enforcement agencies, but his great personality as well.
Definitely, yeah. Current Sheriff of Tom Green County, Nick Hanna, shared a few words on the passing of his predecessor. "We will miss him, and our hearts and love are extended to his family." Hanna said Jones leaves behind his wife, Pam, and 3 children. Funeral plans are pending and will be announced here on San Angelo Live when they do become available.
Yeah, that'll be a pretty big deal, man.
Yeah, man, that guy.
Of people will show
up. I briefly got to know him. Just coming back to San Angelo in 2014. Didn't know him too well, but man, you just always had a good vibe, good feeling with him and his family. So just thoughts and prayers with his family.
Definitely. Well, let's get to some more positive vibes, Manny.
Yeah.
Football is back. That's right. Central football is back with some two-a-day action. Yep. They kicked off two-a-days on Monday. And, Manny, how'd you think?
Yeah, well, Trammell, these guys firing on all cylinders. And I tell you, there could be a potential quarterback battle.
Really?
Here in the 325.
Really? Well, remember, we lost Malachi Brown. He graduated, so it's wide open. We'll see, I guess, who gets in there.
Ben Imler and Tyler Hill Tyler Hill was Malachi Brown's backup last year, but Ben Imler making a very solid case to be QB1. He had a solid outing in the spring game back in May. So, in fact, that was our angle in this week's Cover 1 piece. Plus, we're also talking about a certain lineman that you may or may not recognize. That's the best way to put it.
What would you describe him as? Gigantic?
Well, I tell you, because he's been on this varsity team since he was a freshman. Okay, so, he was a little bit bigger guy, but I tell you what, when you step into the weight room, you're putting in some solid workouts, and I tell you what, he's lost a considerable amount of weight and doing it in a very good way. And this guy is just
put on the beef.
Yes, and he's most definitely going to lead the Central offense this season. So,
Manny, let's check it out. How about we just watch this?
Absolutely. Bellini, hit the tape.
And guys, stay tuned. We're going to have a special guest right after this.
Well, day one of fall camp for the Central Bobcats is officially in the books. Kevin Crane and the kids in Angry Orange just picking up right where they left off from spring ball just a few months ago. Well, hello and welcome to San Angelo Stadium. I'm Manny Diaz. As we get things started here, I tell you what, there's plenty of storylines beginning with the battle for QB1. Tyler Hill and Ben Imler battled it out, slung it out in the spring game back in May. Well, today, head coach Kevin Crane enlightened us on this battle for QB1 and what things could look like heading into this season. Plus, it's a group that is arguably the most experienced, has to be the most experienced on the field for the Bobcats heading into this 2021 season. It's that Central O-line. We're talking the guys down in the trenches and what they're bringing to the table, not to mention a guy that you may or may not recognize.
Yeah, a lot of those guys have a lot of experience. We have 4 starters coming back from last year. Right now, Bruce Smith is, doing some rehab stuff with his knee. Eventually he'll be back. Everybody knows in football it kind of all starts up front with those guys. I mean, they're the most important unit on the field as far as they got to be cohesive. They got to work together, a group of 5 people, and it's kind of different than any other position on the field. So, having that experience back this year is going to be really important.
But one lineman that's truly taking the reins of this team is senior Kobe Moore. He spent plenty of time in the gym to drop over 50 pounds to make sure his body was right and ready for his senior season.
Yeah, I mean, really it's second to none. I mean, he's worked so hard this summer and really his whole career. I mean, he's been on the varsity football team since he was a freshman in high school, and he's no doubt the leader of our team and just done a terrific job this summer. It really changed his whole body. He lost a lot of weight, but he's lean and he's stronger than ever. And certainly going to be able to move a little bit better than he has in the past. And so I'm excited to see him have a great senior season.
As far as the Bobcats under center, it appears the battle for QB1 is on as Ben Imler and Tyler Hill are repping it out to see who becomes Central's new starting quarterback.
Well, I mean, I think there's always a competition. I mean, both of those guys are very capable of doing it. They're both good players. They're both smart players. You're going to see both of those guys get a lot of reps, early in this fall camp. And, we'll take it day by day. But, both of those guys, we're after just, getting better every day really is what it's all about. And so that's what we're looking for both of those guys to do over this fall camp.
It'll be fun to watch when these Central QB1s and the Central O-line go head-to-head with someone that's not in the same color uniform as they are next Friday when they take on the Abilene Cooper Cougars there at the historic Shotwell Stadium for their first and only scrimmage of this fall. All right, for San Angelo Live in Cover 1, I'm Manny Diaz. See you next time.
Manny, those videos are always good, man. We gotta love the Cover 1 action, and who doesn't love Cover 1 action? If you like it, don't worry, we got a lot more coming this year with, of course, the Cover 1 Texas High School football right on SanAngeloLive.com. So, guys, we're back. We're here with Terry Holland. We're talking about the San Angelo Cowboy Gathering.
Yep.
Guys,
yes, sir.
Take it away.
Matt Trammell getting us started here in this Ask San Angelo Live segment. In fact, Manny Diaz, Joe Hyde also on the broadcast here, checking down on the ones and twos, if you will, directing our show. Terry Holland joining us this afternoon of the San Angelo Cowboy Gathering. Terry, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on our broadcast.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I see you. In fact, I see you a lot on social media, and I see you with the dance and these cowboy-esque gatherings, and these look just like a lot of fun.
And they are a lot of fun. I guess it's kind of my therapy, but I enjoy working with all these guys and gals, and we've met so many people. It's just like a big family reunion come September, so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So this is coming up on September 10th and September 11th at the First Financial Pavilion. They're right next door to the San Angelo Coliseum there. Tell me, now this is unique because this is almost a decade long.
Yes, we're on our 9th year,
Wow.
so next year will be 10. So we're gunning for that one.
Tell me what was kind of the motivating factor? How did this all get started?
Come about. I had worked with Red Stegall for many years on different events, and he has a huge cowboy gathering in Fort Worth in the stockyards.
He's kind of a legend,
yes,
Red Stegall.
Yes, he is. So he kind of got me started. I kept going to his, and I kept thinking, wow, this would be so cool to have in San Angelo, but I really wasn't sure I could pull it off, and so visited with him, and he kind of mentored me, and he said, you can do it, Terry. And so I thought, well, you know what? If Red Stegall says I can do it, I can do it.
Yeah.
So the first year we had it at Fort Concho. It was a day-long event, and I really didn't know what I was doing, but Red came and helped out, and so we muddled through it, and then we just continued to grow. I really thought that first year we might have 200 people, and we had 500
Wow.
the very first year, and just blew me away. So we've grown from there, and we just kept going.
Yeah, that's very impressive. Now, before we kind of get into what this is benefiting, because this is always a big cause,
Yes.
certainly the folks that you're helping out, but the groups, I mean, because you have quite the lineup here, and Justin Trevino. So I've kind of gotten to know a little bit of some of these guys here.
Right.
Justin Trevino alone on this lineup here is fantastic. Tell us a little bit about who's actually going to be performing here.
Sure. We've grown into a full 2-day event. So we start music at noon on Friday, go to midnight, same thing on Saturday.
Wow.
But Friday, we always start with a local band. T. Gosney Thornton and the Old Hat Band come in and perform. And so that kicks us off every time. And we love those guys. And then we have a guy he was new to us last year. His name is Monty Good. He's from New Braunfels area. Plays a lot of traditional country music. And then we have a newcomer this year, Christy Kalin. She's our female performer this year.
Oh, right on.
She's cutting a CD in Nashville right now, and she's just a ball of energy. So we're excited to have her with us this year.
That's too cool.
And then we have Jody Nix and the Texas Cowboys. Jody has been with me since Red helped me get this thing going. So Jody is going to be here both days this time.
That's kind of a household name here, here in West Texas,
since
Concho
he's
Valley.
from Big Springs and has the Stampede, and of course his dad was Hole Nix, and so there's a lot of history there. And Jody's really been my right-hand man, and so he'll be with us with his great band. And then we have Jake Hooker, which is, Mertzon native. So he's got lots and lots of West Texas followers. And so Jake will be here, and his dad, Tommy, is going to be performing with him as well in his band. And then we have Jeff Woolsey and the Dance Hall Kings. They're from Houston area, so they don't get up this way very often, but they do come to our thing, and they just pack the house. I mean, you can't. If you have a show with Jeff Woolsey, you're going to sell out. That's just That's just the way it is. So, we're excited to have Jeff. And then Saturday we start off. We actually have a cowboy church. We added that about 4 years ago.
Okay.
And it's been a big hit with our attendees. So Ricky Bowen and Daryl Bowen will be here to do that. They actually do the cowboy church during our rodeo that we have. So. And then we have Greg Gibbs from the Wichita Falls area. Greg's been with us quite a few years now. And then Billy Mata and the Texas Tradition, along with Floyd Domino. Billy's from San Antonio, but he's played up here different times for several years. Floyd, you may not realize that name, but Floyd has played with Merle Haggard. He was Merle Haggard's keyboard player, Sleep at the Wheel, George Strait, you name it.
Oh, my
Floyd's been
gosh.
there. So if you want to hear some excellent keyboard playing, you need to come here, Floyd.
Does he? I imagine he's got some pretty nice stories.
Oh, he's got some stories. Yes, yes.
I have a point of order.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I happen to know one of these artists very well.
Who you got? Who do you know, Joe?
T. Gosney Thornton.
Yes.
Yes.
And I know some really good stories about T. Gosney, and I can tell you one. It has nothing to do with music.
Oh boy.
These are my favorite stories.
These
So
are the best stories.
yeah.
So T. Gosney is my neighbor.
Oh,
He lives
okay.
up on top of the hill, and he looks down at me, right? So I have to deal with T. Gosney looking down at me all the time. And he has one incredible collection of tequila. But beside that, he also has a herd of sheep and goats. And to overlook his sheep and goats, and of course he has a ranch called the Blackjack Ranch
Yes.
there. And to overlook his sheep and goats, he's got a llama,
Oh, okay.
right? So one night, the llama went missing.
Oh no.
No llama. And the llama apparently had broken into the next door neighbor's field. So his llama was over there, the sheep were over here, and T. Gosney didn't figure that out until about the next day. So he went and knocked on the door of the next door neighbor and said, "Hey, can I get my llama?" And the next door neighbor said, "No, it's my llama now."
Uh-oh.
So T and I had to go on a night commando mission and rescue his llama.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
So now his sheep are now safe and sound. But anyway, T. Gosney Thornton's been playing here. You know, he had a Grammy-nominated
Yes, he
album
did.
About, 10 years ago,
Yes.
13 years ago. I think it was about 2008 when it was nominated. And he actually recorded that in Willie Nelson's recording studio. And he lost it. And then he fell in love with this Angelo girl, moved to San Angelo, okay, to marry this girl. And the daddy said, "You can't go back to music because that's no good for my daughter," right? And so he had to stay here, and they lost the recordings. Somewhere in Austin, these recordings were. And I guess someone had bought an old building that used to be a recording studio, and they found the tapes.
Really?
And this is like in the mid-2000s. And he rescued those. He went and picked those tapes up, and he dusted the dust off of it. Went and found a tape recorder that would play the tapes, and remastered them. So that's how T. Gosney recorded that
Recorded
Grammy
those.
award-winning tape. Anyway, I
Very
just thought I
cool.
could just throw that out there.
Very
So,
cool.
Not a
Very
bad
cool.
story.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
Joe.
Absolutely.
It was
I don't know
appropriate.
any stories about any of the other guys.
Yeah.
Well, Floyd Domino's Grammy Award winning too, and so is Jay. We've got the Jason Roberts Band later on that day. Jason was the fiddle player for Asleep at the Wheel for 21 years. He's got 2 or 3 Grammys under his belt, so he's back with us. Of course, you mentioned Justin Trevino from Brady. He's the Heart of Texas recording artist, and of course, anybody that's heard Justin, he's just amazing.
Oh,
he has
phenomenal,
one of
yes.
the best voices in the business. Then we've got Brady Honeycutt from South Texas. He's been with us several years. He's a young man that plays a lot of traditional country. And Rocky King, he'll be back with us. He's from South Texas as well. And then, of course, we round out the day with Jody Nix again.
Yeah. So that's, I think I counted it up. That's about 14 bands
Yeah.
in 2 days.
Right.
That's
right.
pretty impressive.
Very, very.
How do you make all these bands play at once? I mean, what kind of schedule do you have? Do they start playing like at 8 in the morning? Is that?
We start at noon, which is pretty early, and every band plays about an hour and a half, hour and 15 minutes. So
Awesome.
we run them in really quick and run them out really quick.
Wow.
Well, as a cheap youngster around here, what was 14 bands? What's it gonna cost me?
That's a good question, but it's well worth the money. You can come one day for $50 or 2 days for $75, and
Well,
so
that's not bad.
that's a
14
bargain.
bands.
Yeah.
All right, now my follow-up question. What about the drinks? Because I like to party with. I'm at a country concert.
Trammell likes
so
to party, yeah.
Where
There is
is
a-
Are you 21 yet?
Yeah, just barely.
Just barely.
No, but seriously, what are the drinks
Right.
looking like
We
there?
have a cash bar there all weekend, as well as concessions, food concessions. We have food trucks. We have the funnel cake truck. So lots going on with food and drinks.
No outside beverages in.
No, they
Okay.
won't allow that.
I'm just you got to make
don't-
sure we know that.
Just
don't-
in case
yeah.
you had an idea of sneaking something in the booth
Yeah,
there.
this is not
Yeah.
BYOB.
Yeah, the San Angelo Police Department will be there to check all
Yeah.
that.
There you go. Good,
Yeah,
good.
we don't want to get in trouble.
All right,
No
so
doubt.
14 bands on September 10th and 11th. Now, this is also benefiting a great cause, the House of Faith. Tell us a little bit about that and how they kind of got in the mix there.
Right. When we started this, I always wanted to give back to a nonprofit in our community. So we've done several different nonprofits throughout the years, but this will make the 4th year that we have had House of Faith. We just kind of, when we started with them, it was just a great partnership, and we just kind of, we understand each other, and they do so much good in our community. And they bring the volunteers, and they just do so much for this event.
Yeah.
And so we continue to support them. Over the 8 years that we've been doing this, we've given about $135,000 to San Angelo nonprofits.
Wow.
And we do silent auctions, raffles, live auctions during this event to help them as well. And then we also ask that our attendees bring snack items, because House of Faith does the backyard Bible clubs with our school kids every year. So that, I think they serve about 800 kids. That's a lot of snacks throughout the year.
Yeah, it is.
So we try to provide them with a lot of that kind of stuff too.
Wow. So that's just a cool thing. I mean, you benefit a local nonprofit agency that needs it. I mean,
it's a win-win.
Yeah.
The people get to come and dance and listen to great music, but they're giving back to a good cause.
What do you think is your favorite part of the event?
Seeing the people come from all over the United States and even out of the States. We've had people from Spain, Canada, Denmark, just all over. We have about, right now, I think, ticket-wise, we've sold to about 15 different states as far as Maryland and California.
Wow.
So it's not just local San Angelo, it's far-reaching.
Now, if somebody wanted to get a hold of some tickets before that date, is that possible?
It is at the very moment. We
Okay.
are just about down to a handful. Out of 1,100 tickets, I have just about a handful of tickets left. So they can go to Holland's Jewelers here in San Angelo. They have them, and they can pick them up there, or they can go on our website and call me, and I'll make sure that we take care of them.
Okay, now it's www.sanangelocowboygathering.com. That's where
Yes,
they can
sir.
find you. Imagine the Facebook
Facebook page is updated and active all day, every day. So
Right on.
we really use that Facebook page to reach people.
Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad that you're doing this here. This looks like a good time just waiting to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We can't wait.
Yeah, for sure. Joe Hyde, you enjoying yourself over there directing the show this
I'm having a
afternoon?
blast. Actually, I'm sitting here staring at Trammell, wondering what to say next.
Oh.
Well, I know what to say next.
What?
I can't wait for the cowboy gathering.
There you go.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
It's good. I mean, it honestly sounds like a pretty good time.
Yeah.
It is. And we have vendors for shopping, too. We
Yeah.
have about 40 vendors.
Although, don't let my
See?
girlfriend hear that.
There
Then
you
we're going to be
go.
going for sure. Yeah, definitely. So what kind of vendors are we talking? Like
talking
just
jewelry,
apparels, jewelry, all kind of
jewelry,
cowboy stuff you can think of.
leather,
Right.
all kinds of stuff.
The
Yeah.
boho stuff for the young girls out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, got to get the boho California style.
You know, the leather, you speak of leather, I always love like the leather air freshener.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you
yeah,
have to come
right.
to a little
Air
platinum.
freshener?
Yeah. It smells like
smells
leather. Yeah. It's really.
Leather air freshener.
You
Yeah.
never had a
Yeah.
leather air freshener, Joe?
No.
Okay.
I have not.
I'm a new car scent kind of guy.
Car scent?
Yeah,
Why can't you like peaches or something?
peaches. Because why would you want your car to smell like peaches?
Peaches. Yeah.
Anyways,
All right.
well, guys, this has been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been real. All right. Anything else did we miss anything?
No, I
Terry?
think we did. We got it all in.
Right
So,
on.
Yeah.
I think if you're a
Dates one more time.
September 10th and 11th, we'll be at the First Financial Pavilion. We'll open the gates at 11:30, and we start music at noon.
And if you heard earlier, you better hurry because
Better
only
hurry.
1,100 tickets and most of them are
Yes.
sold. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a pretty exclusive party out there. So hurry up to Holland's Jewelers and get your tickets.
That's
For
right.
sure, for sure. Now I have to ask. So I mean, because this is considered like traditional country music. I mean, this is. I'm not going to call it old school. I'm just going to call it traditional
It
country
is.
music.
It's some Western swing and traditional country.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we're
like, how did,
talking the Ray Prices
Country
and, the
and
Merle.
Western.
yeah.
Yeah.
So how do these guys feel about like the new style of country music, the Georgia Florida lines? I mean, is that their cup of tea? I mean,
No.
or
No, to be honest, no. I mean, they wish them all well in their respective genres of music, but these guys, you won't find them. They're, when they hit the stage, they're dressed. The bands are dressed, and there's no raggedy jeans or holy jeans
Yeah.
or you know,
The skinny jeans.
plastic cowboy hats or whatever. I mean, these
Will
are,
I see any rhinestone jackets? That's what I really want to know, if it's real old school. Let's see if we can get some rhinestone jackets.
Right. So,
Yeah.
you know, you won't find that here.
Yeah, I think there's an appreciation for this kind of music because I mean it's done with like I'm gonna go ahead and say it. It's done with a little taste, you know, because you know it's good wholesome music with that, good lyrics. Nowadays, you just with the country music, it's like it's a lot of pop.
Yeah, it's more
Doesn't
pop.
even
I mean, and these guys, I mean, you can understand every word that they're singing. You don't have to wonder, what did he say? And it's just, you know, here's my thinking on it. I've done this for 9 years, and I've sold out for 9 years. Mm-hmm. And it's from all over the country. And so to me, that states it all.
Yeah.
And it keeps them coming back. Yes, it's probably an older crowd, my age and up probably. And there's some newer folks coming in, but every year we see new faces and younger faces, and they're bringing, you know, kids and they're teenagers, and so it's just a fun thing. But it's solid music, and it's here to stay. I just don't see it going away forever.
Absolutely.
Hey, Manny, you may not know this, but the Western swing has a West Texas roots. For example, Ray Price, you know, he was a big Western Western swing guy. His keyboard player is Blondie Calderon, and Blondie is from Del Rio.
Right on.
And he passed away in 2001. That was one of my first stories as a journalist, was covering his funeral. But he was famous, and there's a Mexican food restaurant that he owned that was on the river there, on the creek, downtown Del Rio.
Okay.
Blondie Calderon was very, very famous.
Yes.
You know, he was a big part of that. A lot of, I think it's infusion of a Tejano sound into it.
Yeah.
That makes it so good. So it's true Texas. It's
Yes.
true Texas Western.
And in fact, speaking of Ray Price, one of his last steel players is actually Jim Lossberg, and he's actually Jody Nix's steel player.
Is that right?
So you see a lot of crossover. These guys, you may not recognize their name, but if you start looking at CD covers or album covers, you're going to see these names on there.
Wow,
So.
that's impressive. Now you mentioned, you know, people that they want to, you know, take part of this from all over the country. You have any international folks that come in and they're just kind of just amazed about the Western culture?
Yes, like I said, we've had Canada, Spain. We had Denmark 2 years ago. They came for the first time, and they actually had bought tickets to come this year. And because of COVID, they're probably not going to be able to come.
Are these just people who are going to listen to the music, or are these entertainers?
They come to dance. These are attendees. They came from Denmark, stayed the whole week, they never missed. I mean, they were there from the time I opened the gates till the time we shut the door.
Oh my gosh.
And they were so excited to come back this year, and then, you know, everything's bad overseas.
How do you think they heard about it?
Facebook.
Our
Facebook page, and we're on several different groups that are, you know, music groups, and so they follow that. It's amazing how many people overseas follow this. We actually won an award in 2016 for Festival of the Year with the Ameripolitan Music Awards, which is from Dale Watson and Ray Benson started that. And there were so many people in Austin from Switzerland, Canada, Denmark, I mean, all across the world, and you just think, where do these people come from?
That's insane.
They follow it, and they love it.
Wow.
It's amazing.
We can get if you're in Denmark, you can get a little country.
I mean, why not?
Why
not?
I mean, they got animals. They got sheep and goat over there too.
And the whole thing follows the San Angelo is, of course, recognized as music-friendly.
Yes.
Right? We're one of the first ones.
Yes, one of the first ones.
And it's because of events like this that have been so long-standing. So what are you going to do to maintain the going forward? Are you ever going to retire?
Well, they tell me I can't, but you know, I had somebody the other day say, well, how many people are on your committee? And I was like, me, myself, and I, and then a bunch of volunteers from House of Faith. But I'll do it until I just wear out, I guess, because I love it. I love the folks, so want to keep it going as long as we can.
Well, heck, it sounds like a good time, though. It doesn't sound like I mean, not that it's not much work, but it sounds like it's a lot of fun to go along with the work.
Yeah.
So.
How long does it take you to kind of like orchestrate, plan one of these type of these
From
events?
September 11th midnight till next year. We start rebooking bands and just getting things together. And, you know, I've done it so long now, it kind of flows. It kind of runs itself. I just have to kind of do the paperwork and the organization part. But, yeah, it takes about a year, really and truly.
Man, that's
if I had a staff or something, that'd be great. But
Sure.
I don't. So it's me. I'm chief cook and bottle washer.
Yeah, just
Hey,
change
there
your
you
hat,
go.
put another one on, and there you go.
Yes, sir.
What you need to do is just put it in the Coliseum and invite 4,950 people. Right?
There you go.
Yeah.
All righty. Well, this is been Terry Holland here with the San Angelo Cowboy Gathering. Terry, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our program, Ask San Angelo Live. Do we have any folks out there in Facebook land, YouTube that maybe if you have a question, we'll stick around just for a few moments before we kind of say goodbye here. But for dates, September 10th, September 11th at the First Financial Pavilion right next to the San Angelo Coliseum. Tickets, there's just a handful left, as you said.
Not many at all.
Not many. Okay, so we're so $50 for the day, or $75 for a two-day pass. You can get your tickets on SanAngeloCowboyGathering.com. You can also check in on the Facebook page on San Angelo Cowboy Gathering there as well. All right, one last thing. We miss anything?
I think we covered it all.
I think we did too.
Thank you so much.
All right. Well, how about Matt Trammell? You good?
Yeah, dude, I'm always good. we said, we're always good.
Is this intriguing to you?
Honestly, this is pretty intriguing. if there was a festival that I would spend $75 on in San Angelo, it would probably be this one.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of other, festivals where you can see 14 different bands in San Angelo. I mean, most of the time, you see 3, you see 4. This one you're going to see 14. So
Yeah.
definitely worth your money. And if you see me out there, buy me a beer. It'll be a good time. So
Yeah, buy him a beer. Joe Hyde, how about you? Any last words?
I have nothing.
he's texting and driving over there.
Texting and driving.
Driving.
He's
Texting and driving.
yeah. Joe's supposed to be directing the live stream here, as you can tell, because
It's just my beautiful face on here
Yeah.
now. That's what I'm saying. I've taken over the live stream, which is okay.
Yeah, Joe, if you want to hit 1 on the board there, and that'll take us back to the main screen here.
wait.
See? That's
Hey,
what we're talking about, the
texting and driving.
See how that works? All right, San Angelo Cowboy Gathering. It's the 9th annual San Angelo Cowboy Gathering, benefiting the San Angelo House of Faith. Terry Holland's been an absolute pleasure. For Joe Hyde, Matt Trammell, Miss Holland here, I am Manny Diaz. We will see you next Friday. In fact, next Friday we have we're getting right into the Texas high school football season. We're going to be bringing you a special broadcast of the San Angelo Central Bobcat scrimmage against the Abilene Cooper Cougars next Friday night there
Get
at the
'em
historic
Cats.
Shotwell Stadium. So we are looking forward to that. Please join us. We'll be telling you a little bit about that as the week goes on. All right. Well, until next time, for these fine gentlemen and Miss Terry Holland, I'm Manny Diaz.